Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are back at our retreat spot. I have some updates and some things we're working on, and I want to take you along and show you the progress. So while I was filming, I found these thistle plants, which I was actually looking for. I'm part of this foraging group online, and they were talking about how these plants tastes like celery. Anyhow, there was a bunch of them along the street, and I was taking a video of this one when I saw this beautiful bumblebee just hanging around it. So I wanted to go ahead and just show you that. You see all these thistle plants right there? They're actually quite tall, and if you can kind of see there, they have these sharp pointy thorns to them. So I didn't end up picking any to eat, but it was nice to look at. Anyhow, we're here to kind of clean up the property. I actually already mowed the lawn. So I was mowing the lawn. It was quite tall. And look at this huge ant pile. That's one of the biggest ant piles I've ever seen. We're going to have to get some ant poison. But anyhow, I came here to mow the lawn and to work on the weeds, and we're just kind of working on different things, maintaining this lake lot. But this is our retreat spot, and today we are also here to see how we can put electricity in. So we're here to mark some spots, meet with some people from the electric company, and just kind of begin to set our roots that way. This is an off kind of grid property that we wanted to have quite primitive, but we did find that we would need some electricity from time to time. So we are going to go ahead and put in an electric pole and get some electricity out to it. This is a property next to the property that we already own, and we have some pretty big plans to purchase this property soon and create a nature center. So part of this property we've noticed, because we've been visiting so often, that it kind of floods or it's quite wet, almost like a swamp. And so we want to build basically like a boardwalk walking trail. And so if you've ever been to any nature centers like that, that's what we kind of envision, to have like a boardwalk area where we walk through and we can see raw nature. And so you can see some of the water is still there. It's quite dry today as opposed to some of the other times that we've been here. But there's all kinds of nature. There's just so many different types of birds. There's all kinds of frogs and snakes and just anything you can imagine here. Beavers, all kinds of stuff. So we really want to make this a place to go retreat and have a really nourishing time within nature. So this is kind of part of our dream, and we're bringing you along to see everything that is developing. So this is what our lake lot looks like now. We are actually, just like I say, working on some of the maintenance and things that we have to do. This is a little blue generator we got when we found we needed to have some electricity, but we don't like the loud noise that it makes, which is why we're going to go ahead and put electricity in through the electric company. So we still have quite a bit of firewood. I'm just showing you here our shed. This contains most of the things that we need to work on the property, like, our lawnmower, our weed eater, all of that stuff, some oars, some fishing rods, everything goes into that little space right there. So we've been working on kind of just cleaning everything here. We did notice that it's become springtime, and a lot of times when everything starts to grow again, it begins to kind of grow mold and things. So on our camper, we noticed it was a little bit green. We're going to have to come back with some bleach and kind of clean that up, but there's just different things that we begin to see that we want to clean up. So we've been just kind of cleaning up all the weeds, any sticks that have fallen from the storms, just kind of blowing the tables off. There was quite a bit of leaves and things on it. And so here is a spot where we plan to put our electric pole in. This is the other side, though. I want to kind of show you what the other property looks like from here. And so you can kind of see what that looks like. We're really hopeful to one day purchase that soon. There's a magnolia tree there and just so much nature. This is the parking spot that we really didn't want in the beginning. When we cleared this property, we never told the person to make a spot here, but for some reason they made this spot, and it's a perfect parking spot. So I wanted to show you that. We're going to have to take down two very, very tall pine trees. You can see how tall they are. I'm just, kind of lifting my camera up so that you can see how tall they really are. These projects are going to cost us quite a penny. I think to take down both the trees, it might be around $2,000. So we're working on that, and it's about $2,000 to put in some electricity, but the electricity we're putting in will be enough electricity to also power like a little cabin or something if we wanted to one day. So we're taking down trees, kind of cleaning things up. This is one of the trees that we had taken down. Look at all the rings in that tree. So it's a pretty, healthy tree at one point that lived a long life. So along the boardwalk area that we have here, we have a lot of lily pads growing. They're actually like white lotuses. They have these beautiful white lotus flowers, but we're cleaning that up because they're growing out of control. I'm looking at my magnolia trees as well while I'm here, and you can see that they have already their buds and stuff, and they're going to probably bloom soon. Magnolia trees have beautiful white big flowers, so I'm really looking forward to that. We have 2 magnolia trees on our property. So we have that one that look kind of like a bush, and then we have one that's like an actual really big tree. Near this area, there's a magnolia tree there. Near this area is one of the areas that we loved to camp at before we purchased this property, which is one of the reasons we purchased this property. We just love this area. But that campsite, I think it's called Martin Dyes Park, has huge magnolia trees. I never knew that they could get so big. These are actually quite small compared to the ones at the Martin Dyes State Park. But you can see that this tree, the bigger tree here in the middle, has magnolia flowers that are going to come in as well. So I can't wait to see that soon. Okay, so the electric company has come out. They're talking to us about how they're going to put the electric pole in, where they're going to put it, how much wattage or ampage we're going to get, and, where everything's going to be. So we're kind of marking that and talking to them about that. So we're thinking to put it there where that marker is. So it'll come off the street sort of. There's already like a really old pole there. They said it was like a telephone pole, maybe a 40-year-old pole. We're going to have to put in a new pole, but it'll be a good thing for us, I think. Also, while I was here, I went ahead and kayaked. I've actually never kayaked before. We have a few boats and a kayak, and so I went ahead and took some time to kayak today. That was pretty fun. So here's some pictures of me kayaking. I didn't get any videos because I was kayaking, but now that I've done it, it's quite, easy, and it was fun. So next time, I think I might take the camera along with me. Thank you all so much for coming along, and check back for updates on this Lake Lot Retreat Center. Thank you all so much again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you next time.